Hey, what's up, man? It is the Ace Michaels Show. Ace Michaels, universal and worldwide. Happy to be here with you. Hey, thanks a lot for you know who you are that sent me the email that was so awesome and encouraging for me to keep going at this. And I just want to say, I think we all need to do that a little baby bit more often. Just encourage people to keep going because we've been through a lot in this last few years. Not to be that guy and bring it up again, but you know, we used to have to wear a mask to go to the Walmart. Just let that sink in for a second. How far have we come from having to wear a mask to go to Walmart? Anyway, something to think about. Be grateful for every day. That's my point. Ladies and gentlemen, today on my show, I'm going to let my guest tell you her story. Welcome to the show, my guest.
Hey, how's it going?
And what is your name, my guest?
My name is Taylor Lynn. So happy to be here.
You sound like you sing a little bit.
I do.
You got a singer's voice.
Oh.
You got that little huskiness that singers have.
Oh, huskiness. I've never heard anybody describe my voice that way. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you don't hear the huskiness?
Husky.
Yeah. Say something. You don't hear it?
I don't know. I don't know what huskiness is.
Yeah, well, that huskiness, that's that sexiness that the singers, even male singers, have that husky that you can just tell as soon as you hear them talk. They're like, hello, my name is Ralph, and I'll be singing for you today. And you're like, oh my God, Ralph, stop it. My
Sing,
boxers
Ralph,
are
sing.
drenched. Stop, Ralph. Don't do it. Don't do it to me.
I'm weak.
Anyway, so Taylor, tell us about you.
Yeah, so I am a singer, songwriter, a little bit of a baby producer.
Nice.
I grew up.
Baby producers. They grew up to be full-grown producers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a grown man producer pretty soon.
That's gross.
I grew up in Michigan, so I grew up in the jazz scene, really being in. I went to Chicago a lot as a teenager. You know, I'd hop the mega bus and tell my parents I was somewhere else, and I'd be downtown Chicago with my friends.
Killed it with Megabus. I got a whole
$10. $10 to Chicago.
All right, it feels like $10 too.
It does.
There's two places I will not endorse: Megabus or Spirit Airlines.
Okay.
So that's
Spirit just kind of slows down and drops you off.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
But they drop you off, not your stuff.
Enough about those two convenient services. But you are a singer from Michigan, and now you're in Las Vegas?
Yep.
And you're performing around Las Vegas?
I am.
How do you like that?
It's been very interesting. So when my husband and I moved out here, we didn't know a cockroach on the wall. We just started kind of
That's gross.
Showing up to. We didn't know anybody.
Why would you aspire to know
okay. I don't want to know a cockroach, but we didn't know anybody. So.
Well, and by the way, too, Taylor, not Tyler, Taylor. Taylor. So, by the way, too, Taylor, you are somebody's really beautiful wife. You have this stunning everything about you. Just glowing. Like
Thank
the whole
you.
Studio. I could probably sell this studio today for more money. You know what I'm saying? Like when they come to appraise it, I'd be like, well, you know.
Just have me sit in the corner somewhere.
You know, she was here. She was here? Yes, she was. She sat in this chair right here. Did she? Yes. So how much you want for the chair? Well, what are you offering me? Because she did sit in it. Right? This very chair. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
So, have you always been a attractive person? Were you an ugly duckling at some point in your life?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've always been beautiful.
Right.
Inside.
I know. If you do have to say so yourself.
I'm going to let you know, when I was like 8 or 9, I was that chunky little kid. I had a big old gap in my teeth.
I love that.
Just eyebrows wild, hair wild. My mom was white, so nobody knew how to comb my hair. So I looked a mess as a kid. I was still cute, but definitely a wreck. I honestly don't even think I'm at my full potential yet. Catch me at like 33.
You were having a childhood, like a Rashida Jones experience.
Yes. Yes.
You were this black child that was a little out of place, but you made it work.
I made it work, and a few years of some braces, a good skincare routine, I got it together.
By the way, if you're an attorney representing Rashida Jones, we strike that last comment. I don't even know Rashida Jones, nor do I want you clamoring on my phone, or I don't want to get a letter from you or nothing. Just let that slide, please. What kind of music do you do?
So I write a little bit of everything. I sing a little bit of everything.
Everybody always says, you don't write every damn thing. You don't write no opera songs. those Zydeco songs. No crimes
would.
of passion like music theater songs. I don't see you sitting around the house like, once I was a child with a curious background. I was kind of black, but no one knew how to do my hair. You don't write songs like that.
I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
I'd say my wheelhouse is a little more like jazz fusion.
You sound
soul.
like a jazz. I knew you were gonna say jazz. I knew it.
Yeah.
You're in the Jill Scott, huh?
Yes.
Yes, I knew it. And Sade.
Yes.
I knew it.
And
You're
I was classically trained actually. So
They always are.
I was classically
course.
trained in jazz and really didn't learn how to use my voice like how I felt until I got older, until I was probably 20. Because
Okay.
everything was just like, I grew up reading music. And
Oh, at least
so when I would
you
write a
did-
song, I would literally like
Well, you
score
did the
it.
whole thing. If you learn how to read music, there's a lot of musicians that don't learn how to read music.
Don't
That's
ask me
a
to do it
big
now.
deal.
It's been a minute, but
Wow.
yeah, so it's been interesting to see how my voice has changed. And then my husband recently told me, he was like, this sounds like a pop song. And I was like, what the hell? I'm not a pop singer. And then I listened back to it, and I'll be damned.
What the hell? What the hell? All right, we want to talk about your husband. Enough about you. So your
Okay, great.
husband, what's his name?
Drip Hendrix.
Drip Hendrix. I like it. I like it.
He's all right.
I could see that on a billboard. Drip Hendrix. Starring Drip Hendrix as. Yeah, I could see that. So who chased after who? Did he come after you with the romance and the poetry? Or
Bye.
Did he
No.
play hard to get? Like, how did that work out?
No, he was just going to walk on by me. He wasn't going to say anything to me
Yes.
at all.
Yes. All the guys in the audience are like, yeah, baby. That's how you do it.
No.
Miss them opportunities. That's what's up. So he was going to walk by you, like where? Like a train station or like
No,
in a club?
so-
Or where was this walking by happening?
We met in Memphis. I had to be in Memphis for
That's where it
work. The job that I used to have, I traveled a lot, and I had to be there an extra day. So I was like, I'm going to go get day drunk by myself and listen to music and have a good time.
So you thought.
And then God was like, hey, you need to walk this way. Okay. So I'm walking. I see him. I'm like, whoa, what is this?
No, I've seen him too. He's a good looking guy. He's a good looking piece of chicken.
He
Yeah.
is a good piece of man right there.
Yeah. So you saw him and you knew instantly. You were like, whoa.
Yeah.
But he wasn't letting on a whoa to you?
I mean, our souls connected as crazy as it sounds. As soon as we locked eyes, it was like, okay, this is it. But he was getting off the stage because he was playing bass. He got off the stage, and I've never been somebody who's afraid to like, hey, I like you. Can I buy you a drink? I had to squeak words out to this man because he was finna just walk by me.
Interesting.
So I had to,
But you know,
hello.
But in that moment, he had what I call on the show, I like to call in a band cologne.
Oh, my
In a
Lord.
band cologne works every time
I don't even smell that shit.
and all the time.
I do not even smell it.
So what was the very first thing he said to you? Do you remember like the very first words, the very first sentence? What did he say? I want to know how he broke the ice.
He just said, hey, back. Like,
That's
that was
what I'm
his
talking
very
about.
first word. Don't
Amen,
clap for
player.
that.
Yes.
Don't clap for that.
Amen. Yes, that's how you do it. Listen, guys, take notes. That is how you do it. If you want to get a beautiful woman, you
Just
better not
say
act like
hey.
nope. You better not act like nothing is a big deal. You walk straight up to her. You be like, "Hey." That's it.
But he didn't walk straight up to me.
He was walking past.
I had to say something to him.
So he was like, "Hey." So you talked and then you hit it off. Were you dating like right away after that, or was it a long time after that? Did you become friends first?
No, we really just kind of, I
Was
don't
it
know.
fire and passion?
It was this unspoken, because I was living in Salt Lake City at the time and he was living in Memphis. So
How did that work? You were like in
Exactly.
the land of the Lord, and he's like from the
Not the
land of the freaking crossroads. Go down to you can sell your soul to the devil. Like what in the hell? How did you two hook up? That is nuts. That's literally so you couldn't literally be further apart.
It is
that
crazy.
Literally the way it works. Wow. That's
is nuts.
Nuts. Okay, so you guys do eventually hit it off. right?
I mean, we hit it off right then and there because he thought that because I just came into a bar by myself, I got a drink, sat down. He thought I was waiting on a boyfriend or friends or whatever.
That's what we guys
No,
think.
I'm just here. So,
we guys
started.
don't think you ever go anywhere alone. We think women don't. Come on, why would they go alone?
We just always.
I wouldn't go alone. She can't be alone. Right. So then you guys hit it up. So when did music come into play? Because you guys work on music together too, and sometimes he does a gig with you.
Yeah.
That takes stamina right there.
So we actually
a strong relationship.
The very first time we were on stage together was in Memphis, probably like 4 weeks after we met, maybe. Because I flew back to Salt Lake City. And we started talking. I was like, hey, I got to come back to Memphis. Can I take you to dinner? He was like, you're not finna put me in the friend zone.
Like the assertive lady.
Yes.
You took the initiative.
Right.
All the ladies independent, throw your hands up at me. I love it. That's hot. That is hot. Hot.
So we started kind of doing things, and then we decided, okay, this long distance stuff. We got married when we still lived in separate states, and I was like, this ain't working for me. Where are we going to move?
Right.
And it came down to here or Atlanta. And
thank God you moved here.
If he picked Atlanta, he would have been by himself.
Yeah, Atlanta would have been
I'll see you in a week, babe.
No, Atlanta's a beautiful place. I don't dislike the southern states, but I hate all that southern history.
Yeah.
And I lived in Nashville. And I've been to Atlanta. I couldn't live there. I couldn't live in Georgia.
And the traffic and just it's not for me. So
no, not happening.
We came out here. We started just going, honestly, to live gigs and just like introducing ourselves to people. Really him, we had the plan, like, because he plays a lot more instruments than me. He does more producing, all of that. It's like, all right, let's find some people. And we just kind of went from there.
Does he ever try to producer talk to you? Like he try to get in your ear and be like, yeah, these decibels right here is like, and you're like, honey, just put some candles on and whisper romantically. I don't want to hear about freaking waveforms and comping tracks and
man. Sometimes I do just be sitting there like, good job. But a lot of times, because we primarily work with Studio One. There's a lot of times if he's working on something, I'm like, hey, can I watch? Because I just like to learn, like the amount of knowledge that he brings. He doesn't necessarily know how to explain it to me, but I can sit and watch it.
It's great to have a support
learn
system,
it that way.
Though. Like, I've been in relationships where you don't have that support because the other person, like, it's a fine line. This is my 2 cents, okay? Since I have a show, I get to 2 cents it, okay?
Yeah.
So
you get to 5 cents it.
Well, I don't know if I get 5, but I do get 2. And the thing is, I think there's a fine line between working with someone that you're in a relationship with can be treacherous. It can be the end of everything, but it can, if you do it right, it can be the icing on the cake because your cake is nice and sweet. You got everything going there. Everything is working. And then you add that extra element where you guys can actually perform a gig together.
Yeah.
And or you can go in the studio together like John Lennon and Yoko or Paul McCartney and Lennon McCartney or Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
To have that dynamic if you can get there. Now, you guys have kids already?
Nope, not yet.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm actually scared for you guys to have kids. You're both too good looking.
They're going to be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know about them. Them kids going to be some heartbreakers. You got to be careful.
They're going to be phenomenal. They're going to be the whole church band.
You're going to be calling people's mama and be like, I'm sorry my daughter broke your son's heart, but he just ain't ready, dog.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. My daughter is a queen and a goddess. Your son better step his game up. I don't know what to tell you. I know he's 7. Calm down. I'm just saying.
You better teach your 7-year-old how to act.
Your 7-year-old better come back with some game. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my gosh. That's exactly it.
When he going to get a car? Because my daughter ain't going to be walking to school. When he going to get a car?
What about a 401k? What you mean he ain't thinking about a 401k?
Well,
not next.
Let's see them TRWs while we at it, by the way, too. Anyway, okay, let's get back to music. That's why you're here. So you told me you were playing at the Taverna, which is one of the best places in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Shout out to Taverna Costera. Shout out to Jeff. He's dope. Jeff's really awesome to work with. And we, both of us have been there in different capacities, working on or working downstairs inside, and then also working at the rooftop. And it's just a great energy there, great vibes. The sound system is great. And
yeah, it is. The lighting's cool.
The
too.
lighting's really cool.
The lighting, for sure. I don't know about downstairs. But upstairs, the lighting's cool.
Yeah.
Now, when you played there, was the roof on fire?
It was smoking, but I don't know if it was on fire. I'm just kidding.
It makes me wonder, like, where these old school sayings come from. Like, was there ever a party somewhere and the roof was on fire?
You know, there was.
Like, hey, wait a minute, we ain't got no water. And somebody said, well, just let them burn. We don't need no water.
You know, for a fact, there was a party.
Crazy.
Think about the 70s.
It had to have been a real thing.
Think about the 70s and 80s. There was a fire. Everyone was like, oh, shit.
The roof
we ain't got no water.
Fire.
Well, we're just going to, let's kick it till the fire gets all the way to us.
Can you imagine that slave mentality? No, how about we get out of the building because the roof is on fire? What? How about that? Just get out of the building. Okay, so listen, I want to ask you before I run out of time, because time is never our friend on the show. Time is against us for real. Yeah. In your opinion, what is your favorite song that you have written, and why? Why is it your favorite song?
That's a good song. I recently wrote this song called Dangerous, and I think that is my favorite song because it comes from a space of I didn't really know what love was until I found it. And so all of the shit that I had to go through in order to find it, like now my love is dangerous. I love very deeply. I love very hard. And that can also be intimidating and dangerous to somebody else or detrimental to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Not in that toxic way of like, oh, I'm loving you way too hard, but just if I give somebody my soul and my heart, I mean that shit. So
there's a song that's really good, by the way. There's a song that goes, love is a hunger that burns you inside. And I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I love those two lines because as I have been in love and out of love and, you know, the whole thing. I mean, we could do a whole 6-hour dissertation of Ace and love. But I found that I think that's the most truest way to describe it. Love is a hunger. Like when you really find someone that you want to be with, you feel it like in your pit of your stomach. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to be around this person. I need to be with this person. And that's not codependency. That's really what love feels like if you're really in love. I agree with that. So I'd love to hear Dangerous. That sounds like a good song. So if we want to stalk you on the www, what do we need to do next?
You can find me on Instagram, TAYLOR LYNN 325. It's the same thing on YouTube as well. I don't yet have a full website in the works.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Don't worry about it. We got that. Okay. Website's happening.
Those are going to be the top 2 ways to connect with me, to see any of my stuff, and hopefully my EP is going to be dropping very, very soon.
And did you do the TAYLOR LYNN because your middle name is actual Lynn, or did you, like, you got a funny last name? You don't want to tell people your last name?
My last name is Bonds. No, our last name is Bonds, but I go by TAYLOR LYNN. You know, for a long time I was like, oh, I should have this cool name. Everybody has a different name. And growing up, I felt like TAYLOR LYNN always sounded really weird because of the L's, if that makes sense, like back-to-back L's, TAYLOR LYNN. But the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, that's who I am. And the way that I write, I'm giving, we talked about vulnerability. I'm giving people a piece of me. Who am I to have this other, name, this pseudonym, just for what? I don't need it.
Well, to me, Taylor Bonds does sound remotely like a baseball player, so I don't know if that's it. I don't know if you can count on me for like advice like that, but I think if I was your daddy, I would say that sounds like a baseball player's name, and TAYLOR LYNN sounds like a singer's name.
Exactly.
So I think you did make the right choice with the name.
Our last name?
Yeah, your guy's first name.
Drip.
That's
not his legal name. That's not his... I don't know if he. No. Can I say your legal name? All right. His legal name is Michael Bonds.
Oh, Michael Bonds is dope though. But Michael Bonds, let me see. Michael Bonds sounds like an R&B guy.
which is not what he wants.
Yeah, that's not cool. That is danger. You don't want to have a.
My husband
R&B
is the coolest person I know.
Michael
the coolest
Bonds is
person.
a cool name though, but Drip. What is it? Drip. What's the whole
Drip
name?
Hendrix.
Drip Hendrix is doper.
Taylor
than Michael
Lynn
Bonds.
and Drip Hendrix.
I think in a alley fight, I think that Michael Bonds would probably get his ass kicked by Drip Hendrix.
Yeah.
Drip Hendrix is not leaving that fight with a scar on him.
For sure.
I don't think so.
For sure.
All right. Well, this is the end of the show, guys. You can keep driving, but don't clap your hands while you're driving. And you know what I say at the end of the show? Live the life you love. Love the life you live.
Amen.
Thank you.